Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Tuesday, March 9th. Before getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up having a nice winner with UNC Greensboro -5 and -110 on Fox Bet, as it ended up beating Mercer in the conference final and ended up clinching a spot in the NCAA tournament. Game was pretty close throughout. I believe it was a tie game with about 3 minutes left, but Greensboro did what Greensboro normally does in this tournament and used its experience to go on a run in the last couple of minutes and win the game by 8. So it ended up covering. It was a nice winner, and hopefully we'll get another winner here on Tuesday. Before we get into the play of the day, though, quick announcement. I have been reading the comment section down below, and I've been seeing the same question over and over again, so I figured I might as well address it for all of you at once. People have been asking me, do I sell picks? Do I have any other premium service, anything like that? And the answer is no. So if you have been looking for a premium service from me where you can pay and get extra plays, or if somebody has been claiming to be me and you've been trying to pay somebody for my plays, you get your money back, because the only plays I give out are on here, on the joint show with Scott Steen, as well as the radio show that we now have. So other than that, though, if you have been looking for a premium service from me, well, sorry for wasting your time, because I don't have one. But I appreciate the fact that a lot of you have been asking. It means that you like the way that I handicap games. I do appreciate that, but it doesn't change the fact that every play that I've been giving out for the last couple of years has been absolutely free of charge. But looking at the card for Tuesday, there is one play that I do like in particular. I know that there are a couple of big conferences underway. You do have the ACC tournament starting, for example. But I think all of you knowing me, that's not exactly my style. I'm going to be sticking to a very obscure matchup here, and it's going to be in the first round of the Southland Conference between McNeese State and Southeast Louisiana. And for the play of the day, we're going to be taking the over in this matchup, and the best line available right now is over 146.5 at -109 on DraftKings, time recording of 12:57 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like the over in this spot. First of all, the game's going to be taking place at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so you can try to find it on TV. Probably won't be able to. But either way, a couple reasons why I like the over. First of all, these two teams, since they're in the same conference, have played twice so far this season, and both of these games turn into absolute track meets. You look at the actual total points for these two meetings. The first meeting totaled 180. The second meeting totaled 186. And no, there was no overtime in either game. Now, the total on this one is 146.5, which means that bare minimum, you need about 33, 34 fewer points than the lowest scoring regular season meeting in order for the under to hit in this one. I don't see that happening. Now, I know that McNeese State has been a little bit of an under team lately, but the one game that it did play lately against Southeast Louisiana came a couple of weeks ago, and that game ended up totaling in the 180s, and that game actually ended up taking place on February 24th. Now, looking at some other variables for this matchup here, both these teams are awful at defense. McNeese State ranks 352nd in defense efficiency according to KenPom. Southeast Louisiana ranks 332nd. So McNeese State is a bottom 10 defense in the entire country. Southeast Louisiana is a bottom 30 defense in the entire country. So needless to say, I don't exactly expect many stops, which is why you have seen both of these teams in both meetings score at least 80 points apiece. So I do think you will see this game turn into a track meet once again. Looking at some other factors for this game, both these teams, just a testament to how bad the defense actually is. McNeese State is 0-9 when it scores 69 points or fewer, and it is 10-4 when it scores at least 70 points. Meanwhile, Southeast Louisiana is 0-12 when it fails to score more than 68 points, and it is 7-5 when it scores at least 69 points. Translation, both these teams need to score and need to score frequently if they plan to win games. They are both winless when they score below 60, when they score below 70 points. So I expect this game to end up featuring two teams that are desperate to score frequently, get no stops at all, and I think there's a good chance that this game should get into the 150s and the 160s potentially. Now, looking at some other factors here, the pace is pretty solid for the over as well. Southeast Louisiana ranks 157th in offensive tempo according to KenPom. McNeese State ranks 162nd. So both these teams are really right next to each other in terms of pace. So I do think both these teams will be very comfortable at the relatively up-tempo style that they normally play. Now, looking at some other factors here, in addition to the bad defense, one area of defense that is always good when you have an over is the ability to, I'd say the lack of the ability to defend without fouling. And both of these defenses are just awful at avoiding foul trouble. Southeast Louisiana ranks 323rd in fouls per game. McNeese State ranks 283rd. So both these teams foul all the time, which explains why both of these meetings ended up in the regular season had at least 44 combined free throws. The last meeting ended up having 50 plus. So I do think that you will see both of these teams getting into the bonus very early in addition to the pace. and you should see a lot of clock stoppages with some free opportunities at the charity stripe. Other than that, though, looking at some trends in this matchup, the over is 5-0 in Southeast Louisiana's last 5 games versus a team with a losing straight-up record, and the over is also 5-1 in McNeese State's last 6 games versus a team with a losing straight-up record. So all things considered, I do think you will see this game come down to the wire where both defenses once again struggle. The spread in this one is roughly McNeese -2. So you also have a decent chance of maybe an overtime draw or even some late game scramble points with some free throws as well for an extra boost, because this will be the final regular season game for one of these two teams, or the final, you know what I mean, the final game of the 2020-2021 season for one of these two teams. So you can expect a bunch of desperation scramble points for if this game ends up being in the low 140s with maybe a minute to go. I do think you will see this game have a ton of clock stoppages in the final minute. But the play today, once again, here for Tuesday, March 9th, is going to be on McNeese State and Southeast Louisiana over the 146.5 at -109 on DraftKings. That's been Summer Scott Selection. Go to all of you in respective best today. Bye, everyone.